Zenji, born on 19th Jan 1200 in Kyoto in Japan, attained Samadhi on 22nd September 1253 in Kyoto in Japan. Dogen Zenji said, enlightenment is intimacy with all things. Yes, what Jiddu Krishnamurti said and what Dogen said has got a deep, intimate relationship. Even though Jiddu Krishnamurti never ever loved or liked spiritual people, but the connecting link is so much. Jiddu Krishnamurti kept on telling the deep, when you loses the deep intimate relationship with nature, that means he wants a deep intimate relationship with anything and everything. That deep intimate relationship is your samskriti, is your culture, is your truth, is your philosophy, and which is very close to God, which Jiddu Krishnamurti doesn't want that. But Dogen said in 1200 and Jiddu Krishnamurti is in 1900. The difference. Dogen said, enlightenment is intimacy with all things. Dogen Zenji was a Japanese Buddhist priest, a writer, poet, philosopher, and founder of the Soto school of Zen in Japan. Originally ordained as a monk in the Tendai school in Kyoto, he was ultimately dissatisfied with his teachings and traveled to China to seek out what he believed to be a more authentic Buddhism. He remained there for 5 years, finally training under Tian Tong Rujing, an eminent teacher of the Chinese Caodong lineage. Upon his return to Japan, he began promoting the practice of Zazen, sitting meditation, through literary works such as Fukan Zenji and Bendowa. Dogen Zenji said, enlightenment is intimacy. Please try to understand. As long throughout my 306 short talks or small talks or short discourse, I kept on talking only about deep intimate relationship with your wife and your husband. The deep intimate relationship which builds up inside your house. If you have the deep intimate relationship sitting next to your wife and husband, holding hands, going to the park, chit-chatting, cooking together, washing clothes, discussing things, creates the family. And from that family you have a connecting link to what Ramana Maharshi said. Ask who am I? Ask who am I? And when you started having a deep intimate relationship with yourself, then the whole world is the same. The ocean you have understood the same. The taste of the ocean is the same. Please try to understand that. The most of the diseases sprung up only from that one disconnection. That intimacy, the disconnection of the intimacy. Where as long as you have the intimacy, you do not have to go to hospital, because you yourself becomes your own doctor, because you become conscious. You become aware. Enlightenment is nothing but awareness and consciousness. Enlightenment is intimacy with all things, not only with the wife and children. Telling, once you understand who am I, then you have a deep connecting link with the Christian philosophy. Jesus Christ says, knock and the door shall be opened. Knock means knock your heart, and the door opens to vast spiritual world which is very close to God and which is very intimately related to you understanding you. Once you start loving you, you can love anything and everything in the whole world. That doesn't mean you blindly allow. Intimacy doesn't mean you are always showing love. And then the parents started telling, I am a friend to my children. No. Carrot and stick policy. When you're a friend, you're a friend. Work is work. Karma yoga is karma yoga. Keep doing work without experience. That time you cannot show another person coming, you stop and then show another relationship. No. When you're deeply involved, you're seriously deeply involved until and unless you get an orgasmic experience which explodes, which burns down to the highest temperature, the gold. Any toughest question burns down to the highest temperature. When it starts melting, then you can find out. Everything has got an answer, and every answer has got a love relationship. That love relationship is intimate relationship. Dogen Zenji said, he eventually broke relationships completely with a powerful Tendai school, Dogen. eventually broke relations completely with the powerful Tendai school, and after several years of likely friction between himself and the establishment, left Kyoto for the mountainous countryside, where he founded the monastery Aiheiji, which remains the head temple of the Soto school today. Dogen Zenji said, enlightenment is intimacy with all the things, and then you have a deep, intimate relationship with all my teachings from the last all my small talks, all my discussions with you from the last 306 days, that you have the tree therapy. In Rakum school, we have a tree therapy. Tree therapy is nothing but hugging all the trees. And when you hug the trees, you have a bear hug. And when you keep the tree heart, you can feel the first pulse of the tree also. And a day comes, in 3 months, the tree will start talking to you. And you have a relationship. That is not gibberish. A relationship of your love do not need to have a particular language. The language is called the deep, intimate relationship with the trees. Once he knows about trees, then the plants, and the nature, the first nature is the sunlight. What the Hindus and the Bharatiya Samskriti says, Surya Namaskar, morning when you get up, yes, after brushing up your teeth, you clean up the house, you put the first bulb, the first deepa, the first light in the house, and you sit sing a bhajan. The house is enlightened, the house is generated with the magnetic power, and once that happens, all the diseases runs out. Kattal in the Balaki from Tamasoma, Jyotirgamaya, you see the sun rising, you look at the sun, you absorb the sun rays, the deep intimate, the embrace of the sun, the deep intimate relationship with the sunlight. When you do the deep intimate relationship with sunlight, Surya Namaskar, the 12 steps, what the yoga has taught you, the 12 steps stretches up the whole body, but you become conscious. To become conscious, the morning getting up and cleaning up the house along with your wife and your children and with your grannies is very important. That becomes the warming up and the stretching exercise. In that warming up and the stretching exercise, when you do a bhajan, you become conscious. Otherwise, directly you go to Surya and you open up and try to do. You are mechanically doing things which can affect you, which can create again a disease. Dogen is known for his extensive writing, including his most famous work, the collection of 95 essays called the Shobogenzo. But also Aihe Koroku, a collection of his talks, poetry, commentaries. And Aihe Shinji, the first Zen monastic code written in Japan among others. Dogen Zenji said, enlightenment is intimacy with all the things. In that intimate relationship, you do not have to fear. You can just walk anywhere. Any managing directors and any chairmen can walk anywhere. As when you have a deep intimate relationship, when you put on the same dress and you work with the people shoulder to shoulder, and then you have your meeting only post after your office hours, then you do not have to fear the company will break. Company's profit will just grow, because it's just like the painter, Japanese painter, trying to draw the bamboo shoot, and in 3 years sitting in front of the bamboo, and on 30 he himself became the bamboo, and then the drawing happens of its own, the profit happens of it. That profit stays for 1,000 years. Jab tak suraj janch karega, as long as the sun rises, such is the power. It's permanent. You could feel it, you are melting. Then the fear of death doesn't come to you. Enlightenment is intimacy with all the things what your wife is doing, husband is doing, children is doing, all is intimate relationship. You just flow with them, you're not going against them, and then you find out and give them a path. That path helps you to make the family strong and the joint family grows. You don't have, many people ask how to create a joint family when it is completely destroyed. No, start now. The joint family creates the family tree, and you are very close to God. That is the ultimate meditation, that flowing water. Not zazen means just sitting in one place. That doesn't mean he's telling the body should sit in one place. Zazen, Dogen Zazen was misunderstood by the whole world by telling zazen means sitting silently in one. No. The mind sitting silently. Understand, the physical body has to move. The moment the physical body stops, please understand, heart attack. Dr. Dean Ornish, heart attack and all other diseases. Sitting silently in one place for more than 1 hour is heart attack, all the diseases, all the hospitals will open, more hospitals. Dogen Zenji said, Zazen means sitting silently means your bloody mind. When you're working, you're conscious of your karma yoga. The mind shuts its mouth and sits in your body. When the mind leaves your body and goes somewhere else, you are disconnected. That body, the death happens, and within 1 hour it starts thinking. That is the connecting link. Please do not lose your connecting link with your family. That is your strength. Dogen Zenji said, enlightenment is intimacy with all the things. This is my 307th small talk.